Hey everyone, welcome back to my channel. For today's project, I wanted to make a deodorant. I wanted this one to specifically be baking soda free. I just prefer to use the bentonite clay. I feel like it just kind of keeps me a little bit fresher under my armpits. And I use some tea tree oil and lavender. The lavender kind of cuts through that tea tree oil and makes it smell not quite as harsh, but it smells very clean and I love it. I do use a jar. You can feel free to use one of the twisty pumps, whatever they're called, like regular deodorant things. I don't mind getting on my fingers. I just wash my hands. I'm gonna start by melting my coconut oil and my shea butter together. I prefer the refined coconut oil in recipes like this where I don't want the coconut oil smell. So I'll melt the coconut oil and the shea butter together, and then once that's a little bit cool, add some arrowroot powder and bentonite clay to it. Mix that up really well and add a splash of vitamin E. And then to top it off, I will add some tea tree oil and a few drops of lavender. Tea tree oil is known for its bacteria fighting properties, so that definitely makes it an ideal candidate to go in a deodorant. And the lavender essential oil just smells really good, and I find that it really cuts through that tea tree oil and definitely mellows out the smell. There's actually something that's completely unrelated to deodorant that I wanted to talk about here on my channel real quick. I completely forgot about it. There's something that happened a few years back, but one of my friends, she brought something up to me the other day, and it was exactly the issue that I dealt with a few years ago, and it really started bothering me, and it's weighed heavily on my mind. So a little bit of backstory about my friend. She's in her early 30s, and she works at a bakery, and she's really talented. Her stuff is really good. I'm kind of glad that she doesn't live close by because I'd probably be there every day. Her birthday had just passed, and one of her coworkers asked her when she was going to start a family. This seemingly innocent question from one coworker to another hit her really hard. Her and her husband have been trying for a few years now with no luck. They've gone to the doctor, they've done multiple tests, and it's not going to be easy for them to conceive naturally. So she definitely had a rough time with this, and she just kind of brushed off the question and let it go and didn't worry about it at the time because, her coworker didn't know, and you don't know what somebody's going through, especially if you don't know them intimately and they're not really close. You don't know what somebody's going through, what their life has been like, if they even want kids. Having kids, not having kids, this can be a really touchy subject for a lot of people, and it hit my friend particularly hard. She knows of the troubles that I went through conceiving, and so she called me and confided in me, and we basically cried together. It was really difficult. My husband and I, we went through several years trying to conceive, and it wasn't happening for us. One of my coworkers at the time approached me, and she said, you should really think about having kids. You'd make a really great mom. Seriously, that hit me like a ton of bricks. Me and my husband had been trying for so long. I ended up miscarrying at one point, and it's just been rough. We wanted kids more than anything, and to hear that, I was like, well, it's not for lack of trying. At least I thought it in my head. And I was just told her, well, thanks, and then just kind of brushed it off and, just cried to myself for the rest of the day. And then it's really hard. And, it's not fair because, no, you can't know what's going on in everybody's life. A close friend's grandmother told me one time that she believes that people shouldn't have kids past a certain age. What do you say to that? Well, I'm approaching that age, so, I guess I'm done. You can't be expected to tiptoe around people, and especially people with kids. Parents want to talk about their kids, especially when they're little. If they do something funny, that's all they want to do is just talk about their kids and brag on their kids. And I get it. It was particularly hard to hear, well, you just won't understand because you don't have kids. I can understand what it's like to get ready in the morning and to have to get kids ready too. I can understand that.
just because I was childless at the time doesn't mean that I can't possibly understand what it's like to get a child ready in the morning. So basically, all I'm asking is think about how something you say, especially a touchy subject like kids and family, think about how that can affect others, especially if you don't know them intimately, don't know them well, because there's a lot to unpack with a lot of people, especially if they're trying and it's not happening and they can't have them naturally. Thank you guys for listening. I hope everybody has a wonderful Christmas. Have a happy holiday.